Hey guys, so a little bit of a different video today. I decided to just basically show you what games I have installed on my Steam Deck, specifically the non-Steam section. Because a lot of people ask, should I buy the Nintendo Switch or the Steam Deck? But it really depends like what type of games you want to use, play. I'm not really a PC gamer. I mostly always had consoles, and I'm a Mac user. So that means I was blocked, from all these other PC games because there's not that many PC games on the Mac that are compatible. So Steam Deck was a lifesaver. So basically what I got to do is, play games that I've never played before, or just play games that, were lost to time, specifically abandonware, like most of these games are. And just revisit some of them after 20, 30 years and so on. All right, so let's see, what's the first game? I got the Silver Case. So that's a game by Suda51, one of his first games, the guy that made No More Heroes, Killer 7, and so on. So remember, all of these are PC games unless I specifically say they're emulated. So Assassin's Creed Black Flag, max settings 60 FPS, Blur 60 FPS max settings, same for Bulletstorm, same for Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, same for Call of Juarez. This is Carmageddon 1. I prefer the first one compared to the second one because I guess because of the sprites it just looks a little bit more grittier, but yeah, I think this is the whatever it's called, car pack, mad pack, or whatever. Basically it has all the cars ever released, all the stages and so on. So yeah, it's an old game, runs great, looks great, but yeah, it's a little bit messy to deal with the menu since it's ages old. All right, so we have Chronicles of Riddick 1 and 2, 60 FPS, everything maxed out. Same for Colin McRae Rally 2, so this is a PC release, but I downloaded the HD car mods, so it looks even better. Okay, Dark Forces, Dirt 3. I love Dirt 3. Again, 60 FPS, everything maxed out. Same thing from Doom 3. Here I have a couple of Sega Dreamcast games like Crazy Taxi, Metropolis Street Racer. This is from the guys that basically made Project Gotham Racing games afterwards. Seaman. So this one with Flycast, you can actually make the second VMU option act as a microphone. Therefore, your Seaman game will work, because if you try to first play it, it's gonna say there is no microphone detected, so it's not gonna let you go. So yeah, perfect. Sega Rally 1, Space Channel 5, V Rally 2, and that's it for Sega Dreamcast games. Now back to PC, we got Dredge, okay, Driver San Francisco, Duke Nukem Forever. This isn't the one that we got in the end. This is the one from 2002 that the people, fans compiled all the textures. I think it was first revealed at E3 2002 or 3. It looked great. I mean, to me, it's way better looking game than what we got in the end, even though it's like on a newer engine. But yeah, so luckily some people are crazy enough to put it all together and somehow they made it playable. Something that we should have gotten instead of that trash that we got in the end on the, I believe, PlayStation 3 and 360. All right, Flat Out Ultimate Carnage, Ace Attorney, you know what that is. Grid 2 and Grid Autosports, both max settings 60 FPS. Grim Fandango Remastered. However, you can also download, which I did, a community mod which makes the pre-rendered backgrounds also HD, which the original version doesn't have. So this is like HD version of the remastered version, pretty much. Gunman Chronicles, this is probably the most famous single-player mod turned into an official game by Valve from Half-Life 1. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Complete Edition, and this is HD. And I don't mean HD from the store-bought game, but actually community patched. It looks gorgeous, but you definitely want to play this game on a bigger screen. Can you play it on Steam Deck? Yeah, sure. But I mean, There's so many details and small icons just connected to a PC monitor or something like that. Okay, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, Lollipop Chainsaw, both perfect, 60 FPS. Lunar 1 and 2, this is the PC version remastered. Messenger, Metal Gear Solid Rising, again, all maxed out, 60 FPS. Mama Mac Check. Alright, now we get to my favorite franchise. So Need for Speed 2 was the hardest thing to get running on the deck. You can get the DOSBox version, which is fairly easy, but it's software, so it looks kind of like crap. But this is the time when the Voodoo cards started coming out, and then we had OpenGL. Anyway, long story short, if you want to get Need for Speed 2 running and looking good on the Steam Deck, there is an official Linux version that you can find online. You just have to use the terminal console a little bit to do some adjustments, and it will be playable and looks amazing. Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. Same thing, obviously it's an old game, everything runs perfectly, and this one also has a widescreen patch. Porsche Unleashed, this is the one I'm currently playing through again now. I love this game. I have so many good memories during like winter break when this came out. And yeah, 60 FPS, widescreen resolution, everything's perfect. Same thing goes for Carbon. This is Carbon NFSCO, so it's a community mod. Basically, they remastered Carbon, they kind of readjusted the main campaign, added extra cars and so on. Need for Speed High Stakes also runs and looks great. However, this one doesn't have the widescreen patch. So the same guy that was making the widescreen fix for Need for Speed 3 started working on Need for Speed 4, and then I don't know, life happened and he just disappeared, and we never got a working widescreen patch for this game. Hot Pursuit 2. So this is the PC version. Yes, I know the console version is way better, but for whatever reason, like when I tried the PlayStation 2 one, emulating it with PCSX2, there were like major slowdowns, and to me, like that's just unplayable. So I just wanted to have the collection, and I put the PC version. But yeah, runs and looks great, 60 FPS. The OG, the granddaddy of all Need for Speeds, Most Wanted, 60 FPS, max settings, same for Need for Speed Pro Street. Need for Speed Shift 1, same thing. I used to have Need for Speed Shift 2, and then something corrupted. I had to remove it, and something over the months or a year or two changed with the software in the Steam Deck, and then whatever I tried to do, I just could not get it to run. I tried getting the physics DLL file, then installing the drivers, the old ones, the new ones, the current ones. I just couldn't get it running. I just gave up. Need for Speed The Run. So max settings, and this is the only game that runs at 30 FPS, because by default, it was always a 30 FPS game, even on the PC back in the day. So it could run 60 FPS if there was that option. Need for Speed Undercover. Most people don't like it, kind of me included, but it has a great soundtrack. Runs great. Underground 1 and 2 run perfect. This is underground2.net. So again, just like with the Need for Speed Carbon, there's another group of modders that pretty much remastered Need for Speed Underground 2. Okay, Ninja Gaiden, the latest one. This is Outrun, Coast to Coast. So on top of the game itself, I also installed a mod which has HD UI, so it doesn't look like so blurry, and looks amazing. Now we have a couple of PlayStation 1 games using the DuckStation emulator, so Alien Trilogy, Mega Man Legends, Ridge Racer 4, Road Rash. I was looking for a PC version of Road Rash because in general, the reason why I have mostly PC versions and not emulator versions of these games is because, well, first of all, they look way better. They have graphical settings and so on. They just run better as long as you can get them running, of course. But this is a sprite-based game, and I just couldn't get the PC game running, so I opted for the PlayStation 1 version, and to be honest, they look the same anyway. Taken 3, A Vagrant Story, Wipeout 3, and Wipeout XL. Now we move on to the PCSX2 emulator. So for the PlayStation 2, I got Burnout 3, Burnout 4, Gran Turismo 3, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. For this game, within the emulator itself, it already has 3 optional patches to be, chosen, clicked on. Make sure you turn all of them on, otherwise the game will run in slow-mo. What's this? Piglet's Big Game. Okay, I've tried this, just to see, if it's like running, and then I haven't played it since. And the only reason why I have this is because when they announced Silent Hill 2 Remastered, someone said on the internet that like, oh, there's a level in this game, it's so spooky, but it's a kid's game and it's like a Silent Hill. And even if you look at the in SteamDB, if you look at the covers for this game that are possible, they have ones that look kind of like Silent Hill, but with Piglet on the cover. So I'll get to it at some point, but yeah, that's the reason why I have this one. The best Tokyo Extreme Racer, 3 from the PlayStation 2, and then that's it. Now we're moving back to PC games. So this is Prey from 2006, max settings 60 FPS. Same for Prototype, same for Pure. I play this like crazy on the Xbox 360, but it looks just as good and plays just as good on PC. Red Faction 1. So this is, you have to download a community mod that gives you widescreen and has like 4K textures, and then it looks really amazing. This one I'll come back to in a second. Roller Dome, we know what that is. Saints Row 2 PC version. It was kind of like borked before, but then there's this guy that made the Juiced 2 patch, and then now it looks amazing and runs great on PC. Same thing for Splinter Cell Conviction. I believe I locked this one to 40 FPS because it kind of goes between 60 and 40 from time to time, so I just didn't want to have any hassle. Star Wars Bounty Hunter, another old school FPS game. Yes, I modded it as well, just to have 4K textures and widescreen. StarCraft Remastered runs and looks beautiful, but again, it's like one of those real-time strategy games you definitely want to play on a bigger screen. So just connect your Steam Deck to the dock and a PC monitor and off you go. Okay, Streets of Rage 4. And then now we have a couple of Nintendo Switch games. So these two, Mario Kart 8 and Metroid Prime, run 60 FPS flawless at double the resolution. Pikmin 3 can drop at 40 FPS, and then Zelda runs perfect. And Xenoblade Chronicles, I haven't tested it too much. I think it's 30 FPS, but I'll have to get back to you on that. And that's it for the Switch games. This is Teaching Feeling. What do I say about this game? It's highly controversial, especially recently in the last 10 days, at least from when this video will be uploaded. So I suggest you just do your own research, and let's leave it at that. Tomb Raider 4, 5, and 6 Remastered. Twisted Metal, and this is Twisted Metal unofficially 5. So imagine if instead of Twisted Metal Black, we got Twisted Metal 5, but with the PlayStation 1 era graphics. So there's this guy, you can just search on Google Twisted Metal 5. It's a free mod. It's a free game, whatever, for the PC. And he, made his own game, and then he included all the other sprites from the previous Twisted Metal games. Looks awesome. Like, great job for this dude. If anybody wants, cannot find it, I'll leave a link below. Ultra Kill. All right, Unreal Gold. So this is, the very first Unreal game. It was, the game. When we saw this for the first time, you actually thought that there was not going to be anything better looking than that. And yeah, it still looks amazing on this thing as well. Unreal Tournament, I love this game. And the best thing, what I like about it is that it's not a dead game, as in, yes, it's abandonware like most of these other games. But what I like about it is there's, like for example, my version, you can download some mods, and they have a very, very active online section. So you can play it online like you did back in 1998. Also, I download like 4K res textures, and it looks just insane. You know, it's like so cool, so fast paced. I love this in Quake 3 Arena. I really cannot make up my mind. I was always more a Quake 3 guy, but then later I kind of fell in love with Unreal Tournament as well. So I would just say, to me, they're even. Until then, Vanquish PC version, max setting 60 FPS, and then we got a couple of Wii U games. So Twilight Princess, Wonderful 101, and Yoshi's Woolly World run perfect, you know, double the resolution, 60 FPS. So for the last part, I'm going to get back to RetroDeck. So what is RetroDeck? You have EmuDeck. So RetroDeck is something similar, but I prefer this for all the super older titles. So anything before, you know, the PlayStation 1 or Nintendo 64, more or less. Because EmuDeck I use for the ones that have standalone emulators. So like for the PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, you know, Xbox, PlayStation 2, and so on. And then this is the one where you can either have RetroArch, because it is running RetroArch in the background, but basically it's very easy to set up. Like besides finding, you know, some files, like you just go right away into it. Like you don't have to set up anything. You don't have to choose a core. Like everything is pre-chosen for you, and then you can always go into the settings and then just, you know, choose your whatever, maybe preferred core or something. But other than that, you don't really have to change much unless you want to play it the way it was, I guess, intended to be played. So let's see what's in there. I got a bunch of games there as well. Not too much, but... Alright, so for arcade, I just got the Mortal Kombat 2 and 3. Anyway, I love the UI, you know, it's like awesome. And yeah, this is way, way better than what we got with the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Okay, Neo Geo games. So I got Art of Fighting 3, Fatal Fury 3, what is this? Garou, Last Resort, Magician Lord, Metal Slug, all of them. Mutant Nation, Overtop, it's like a racing game, Polestar, Shmups, Sengoku 3, King of Fighters 2003, Last Blade 2, and Waku Waku 7. As you can see, Neo Geo was full of fighting games. MAME also got some Mortal Kombat games. Super Nintendo, I pretty much got all the popular RPGs, so Chrono Trigger, Illusions of Gaia, Robotech, Secret of Evermore, Secret of Mana, Super Mario World, Mario World 2, Terranigma, and The Legend of Zelda Classic, A Link to the Past. Some Nintendo 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Yoshi's Story. Looks cool. Okay, Sega CD, Earthworm Jim, special edition that was specifically made for Sega CD. Snatcher, I loved it. And this is the best version of Snatcher. Sonic the Hedgehog CD and the Terminator, which looks and runs, I mean, it's a really great game to play. Sega Saturn, I just got Police Knots, and that's all I need. I love Police Knots, and this is the one that has the English translation because it was never officially released for the English market. So yeah, Police Knots and Snatcher games I absolutely adore. And that's it. So basically what I'm trying to say is, as you can see, some people, they're thinking about, you know, getting a Steam Deck. Oh, but like, can it run, you know, this and that game? Like, look, if you want to run like all the new games that are really, you know, high graphics and so on, yeah, it's a little bit difficult, but that's not what the Steam Deck is for me. The Steam Deck for me was always, the Steam Deck for me was always, you know, to play something that I just have no access to anymore, or that I never could play before, so this is perfect. Or, you know, games getting delisted, like most of these, they're just gone from the stores, right? Like you just have to find them yourself. So yeah, if you want me to make a video on any of these so you can see more in depth how they're running or whatever, let me know. If you have questions how to get any of these running, also feel free to leave a message. I think my next video is gonna be on this game, Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. So yeah, get ready for that. Anyway, see you guys next time.